There is one moment that most people with heel pain know better than anything else. That is the morning moment, right when the alarm goes off. When you are still lying there, trying to wake up, and you know that in just a few seconds, your foot will have to touch the floor. And you know exactly what is going to happen. That pain is unlike any other pain throughout the day. It flares up immediately, sharp and clear, exactly as if someone were pressing a piece of broken glass right into the dead center of your heel. Those very first steps to the bathroom are the absolute most painful ones. You hobble along, with one hand holding onto the wall, just waiting. And then, strangely enough, after 15 minutes, the pain actually subsides. You think maybe today will be fine, but then, the very next morning, everything starts all over again. If this is your morning, not just once, not just for a week, but for many months like this, then I need to tell you something straight that most people do not hear until they have already wasted so much time. The problem does not happen when you are walking, and it does not happen when you are standing. It happens in those exact first 30 seconds, when your foot is cold and contracted after a night of sleep, and is forced to bear your entire body weight without any preparation whatsoever. Most people try to treat the pain after it has already happened. The 5 minutes I am about to show you will solve it before your foot even touches the floor. And after watching this video, you will never start your day the old way ever again. Here is what is truly happening inside your foot every single morning. The plantar fascia is a thick and strong band of connective tissue, running from the heel bone to the base of the toes, acting like the bowstring of your foot to keep your arch from collapsing every time you take a step. During 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your foot is in a naturally relaxed and extended position, and that fascia band gradually contracts, shortens, and gets cold. When you step down onto the floor and your full body weight comes down in a fraction of a second, that cold and contracted fascia band is suddenly stretched. The direct result is that microtears occur right at the attachment point to the heel bone. That is the exact source of that characteristic sharp pain. After 15 minutes of walking around, the fascia warms up, stretches out, and blood circulation returns, causing the pain to decrease. You think you are recovering, but the cycle of microtears continues to happen every morning because the root cause has never been addressed. Think of the plantar fascia like a rubber band that has been sitting in the refrigerator all night long. If you stretch that cold rubber band suddenly, it will snap. If you warm it up first and then stretch it, it will extend perfectly. The 5 minutes I am about to show you are exactly that warming process before that very first step ever happens. Now that you understand why, let me show you exactly what to do. We have 4 movements, done entirely on the bed without even needing to stand up yet. The total time is exactly 5 minutes, and you do not need any equipment, just your 2 hands and a small face towel if you want. There is only one rule I need you to remember throughout this, which is to follow the exact order from 4 down to 1 without skipping any steps, because each movement prepares the body to be ready for the next one. I also have a bonus technique at the end that helps the fascia recover right while you are sleeping. And movement number 1, which is the very last movement before your foot hits the floor, is what completely determines whether this entire routine works or not. So, stay until the very end. Movement number 4. Call this starting the cold engine. Close. End quote. Close. While still lying exactly where you are in bed, straighten both of your legs. Then flex your feet toward your shins as far as possible and hold for 3 seconds. After that, point your feet away in the opposite direction and hold for 3 seconds. Next, rotate your ankles in a circle for 10 rounds in a clockwise direction, and then 10 rounds in a counterclockwise direction. That is one complete cycle, so do 3 cycles for both feet. The purpose of this movement is not to stretch, at least not yet. The goal is to pump blood into the tissues surrounding the plantar fascia, increasing the local temperature and activating the ankle joint fluid before any stretching force is applied. Skipping this step and jumping straight into stretching when your foot is still cold means you are doing the exact same thing as stretching a rubber band straight out of the fridge. If your ankle is stiff and hard to rotate in a full circle, just make the movement smaller as you do not need to do a full rotation. A small movement is much better than no movement at all, so do 3 cycles for both feet, which takes about 1 minute. Movement number 3. I call this the toe pull. Sit on the edge of the bed or stay lying down and cross your painful foot over to rest on your other knee. Use one hand to hold your heel firmly in place, making sure the heel does not move at all. Use your other hand to gently grab all of your toes and pull them toward your shin, doing so slowly until you feel a very clear stretching sensation along the entire bottom of your foot, from the heel to the toes. Hold this for 15 seconds, then release it completely, and repeat. I want to share a study with you, because this is the exact reason I am so confident in showing you this exercise, instead of other things. In 2003, Dr. DiGiovanni and his colleagues conducted a controlled clinical study that directly compared 2 groups of plantar fasciitis patients. One group performed traditional Achilles tendon stretching, which is what most people are instructed to do when they see a doctor. The other group performed the exact toe-pulling movement that you are doing right now, providing a direct stretch to the plantar fascia. After 8 weeks, the direct fascia stretching group had significantly better results across all metrics, including the level of pain relief, functional recovery, and overall patient satisfaction. This is not just something I made up, as it comes directly from controlled clinical evidence, and that is why it has become the core exercise in this routine. If it is hard to reach your toes with your hand, just wrap a face towel around your toes and pull the towel toward you, as the effectiveness is completely the same. Do this 10 times for each foot, holding it for 15 seconds each time. This is the core exercise, so do not rush it and do not cut it short, as it takes about 2.5 minutes per foot. Movement number 2. I call this the arch massage. While still in the cross-legged position, use the thumb of your other hand. Glide your thumb along the bottom of your foot from the heel up to the base of the toes using moderate pressure, moving very slowly and without rushing. When you hit a specific spot that feels tighter or more painful than the others, simply stop. Maintain the pressure right on that exact spot for 10 seconds before continuing to move upward. Do the entire bottom of your foot from the heel to the toes, doing it twice for each foot. Those tight spots you feel under your finger are the exact locations of microtears that have formed tiny scar tissue over time. The sustained pressure on those spots breaks up adhesions in the fascia tissue and increases local blood circulation, accelerating the regeneration of healthy tissue to replace the scar tissue. This exact technique is called myofascial release in medicine, and it is used in the clinic to treat chronic fascia conditions. You are doing the exact same thing yourself right at home, using just your hands, in less than 2 minutes. If your thumb gets tired, use the knuckle of your middle finger instead, which provides the same amount of pressure but is much less tiring. Before moving on to movement number 1, which is the movement that determines if this entire routine will actually work, if what I am sharing is helpful to you, please hit the like button right now. Doing that absolutely helps other people who are hobbling around every morning find this information completely for free. Movement number 1. I call this the first step protocol. Sit directly on the edge of the bed, letting both legs hang down but without touching the floor yet. We are going to do 3 small things in order, and please, do not skip any of the steps. The first thing is to spread all of your toes out as wide as possible, exactly as if you were trying to keep your toes from touching each other. Hold it for 5 seconds, then release, and do this 10 times. The second thing is to place only your heels on the floor, keeping the front part of your feet up in the air. Gently press your heels down while pulling your toes up high. Hold this for 10 seconds and do it 5 times. Now for the third thing, which is the actual first step. So place your entire foot flat on the floor. Do it slowly and intentionally. Start completely with the heel, then gradually roll your body weight forward to the middle of the foot and finally to the balls of your toes. Do not just place it flat all at once, but rather roll it, section by section. I want to tell you this straight, because this is something I truly wish I had explained more clearly to my patients much earlier in my medical career. Plantar fasciitis is not a daytime condition, but rather it is an early morning condition. The entire cycle of inflammation, the microtears, the sharp pain, the feeling of being cured during the day and then tearing again the next morning happens in those exact first 30 seconds after you step right out of bed. You can absolutely go see a doctor, get cortisone injections, buy really expensive orthopedic insoles, and take all sorts of painkillers. But if those first 30 seconds do not change, everything else is just treating the symptoms without ever touching the actual root cause. The 4 movements you just performed in 5 minutes are exactly what completely changes those 30 seconds. The fascia has been thoroughly warmed up. The tissues are prepared, and the blood is fully circulating. And right now, when your foot touches the floor, instead of a sudden stretch on cold and contracted tissue, you are placing a fully ready foot down in a highly controlled manner. That is exactly the reason this routine works when other things simply fail. If your floor is cold, make sure to put on socks before doing the heel section, because you should not let a freezing floor ruin everything you just prepared. I have one more thing before we wrap up, and this little detail surprises most people. The first tip is rolling a cold bottle in the evening. Before going to sleep, place a frozen water bottle or a tennis ball right on the floor and roll the bottom of your foot on it for 3 full minutes. The cold reduces local inflammation, and the rolling motion creates myofascial pressure, meaning you are combining 2 therapeutic effects into one single movement. The fascia enters your sleep cycle in a significantly less inflamed state, which perfectly means the nighttime contraction cycle is far less severe, and tomorrow morning will be noticeably less painful. The second tip is your foot posture while sleeping. Most people with plantar fasciitis simply do not know that foot posture during sleep has a direct impact on the level of morning pain. Hospitals use a specific device called a night splint to keep the foot firmly at a 90-degree angle throughout the night, completely preventing the fascia from contracting. If you do not happen to have a night splint, just fold a thick face towel and place it directly under your foot when lying on your back, which is enough to keep the foot from naturally straightening out completely. It is incredibly simple, completely free, and way more effective than you might think. The third tip is the strict no barefoot rule, meaning you should not walk barefoot on hard floors, especially in the morning and evening when the fascia is not adequately warmed up. Every single barefoot step on a tile or wooden floor, when the tissue is unprepared, is exactly another microtear continuing to happen and completely erasing your recovery progress. So place a pair of sandals with cushioned heels right next to your bed and wear them the absolute second your foot hits the ground, even before you step out of the bedroom. This is your complete routine, so print it out and put it right on your nightstand. At night, right before going to sleep, roll a cold bottle under your foot for 3 minutes, and then place a folded towel under your foot when you lie down. In the morning, totally before your foot touches the floor, do 3 cycles of starting the cold engine. Do the toe pull 10 times for each foot. Do the arch massage twice for each foot. Perform the first step protocol, and only then actually stand up. The total time is exactly 5 minutes, and for the rest of the entire day, absolutely do not walk barefoot on hard floors. Please let me know down in the comments section. Is your pain at its absolute worst in the morning, after sitting for a long period, or at the end of the day? I read every single comment, and your answer actually tells us exactly what stage of plantar fasciitis you are in and how to best adjust this routine to perfectly suit you. If this video was truly helpful, please subscribe to the channel, because in the next video, I will show you exactly why plantar fasciitis often comes back after you thought it was cured, along with one specific thing you walk on every single day that could be the main culprit you never even suspected. Move well, age well, and I will see you in the next video.